Are you planning a cruise aboard a Norwegian cruise ship? Well, I have 5 things you should be aware of when booking that Norwegian cruise. And be sure to stick around to the end for a real important one for you to know. You know that all cruise lines have their list of items of things that you are not allowed to bring on board, and NCL is no different. One rule is that they do not allow you to bring any bottled or canned beverages with you on board. However, as of November of 2022, they do allow you to bring wine for personal consumption. You are subject to a corkage fee after check-in of $15 for a 750 milliliter bottle and $30 for a Magnum bottle, unless you have a beverage package. Now, if you do need to bring on beverages for medical reasons, special needs, or for families with infants, then you do need to contact the access desk so that you could get pre-approval to show the security at embarkation. Dining reservations. Now, whether you're looking to make reservations in the main or specialty dining room, you can do it before you board. The schedule you are allowed to make reservations is based on the length of your sailing, which cabin category you are in, and which latitudes reward tiers you are. Also note, NCL only releases about 20% of their availability in the dining rooms. So if you are unable to get a reservation before you board your ship, that's okay, don't worry. My advice to you is as soon as you get on board, just simply get to that restaurant as soon as you board so that you can make the reservations you want at the time you're hoping to get. And here's a bonus tip for you. Many of the same principles apply to entertainment as well. They have certain shows on ships that can be pre-booked based on your latitude tiers and where you are in your cabin category. And also the same thing applies for the amount of space that they can book. If you cannot get it before you sail, soon as you board, go make those reservations, especially for the comedy shows. The comedy shows sell out the quickest. You could go on a standby list. Those standby lists aren't guaranteed, and you may not be able to get in, to see the show that you wanted to see. Okay, so the third thing you should really know about NCL when you're sailing with them is their air program. The NCL air program, which gives the second passenger free airfare from select gateways, can best be described as rolling the dice. Although there are many success stories with people using their air program, there are some important points that you should be aware of. Number 1, you do not get to control your flight at all. NCL chooses the time, the carrier, how many layovers, and it's always economy class. And if you're unhappy with the itinerary, you're unable to change it. Number 2, keep in mind also that NCL can choose any airport within 60 miles of your house. So sometimes this can mean an airport that is way beyond your residence that you don't want to travel to. Now, number 3, the only person who's free in this program is the second passenger. Now, this is vital information for people who have a cabin with 4 people. The third and fourth person would have to pay for the airfare. The 4th person is not free. This is a big one if you're traveling with groups. If you are traveling with people who are in other cabins besides yours, you are not guaranteed at all that you will have the same air schedule. In fact, they pretty much tell you do not expect it to happen. Number 5. Now, if you fail to provide your correct and complete legal name prior to final payment, you can result in a non-refundable change fee of $150. As you can see, there's many things with this air program you need to know. And now, usually people pick the air programs because the biggest advantage is that they make sure that the cruise line makes sure that you get to that cruise terminal on time before that cruise departs. Not with NCL. Within 72 hours of departure, it is your responsibility to handle the air schedule and any problems that should arise. Now, there's a new rule that NCL rolled out in January of 24 that you should be aware of. It's called the Upgrade Advantage Air Program. Eligible guests will receive an email invitation from NCL at any time between 200 and 100 days to sailing and have 7 days to submit an offer to lock in the direct round-trip flights listed in the invitation email for all passengers booked within their reservation at the stated offer amount per person. So no more free passenger, and this is on top of what you already paid. This fare is non-refundable, and once submitted, it cannot be modified or canceled. I have to link the terms and conditions of the new program you must read and understand before upgrading to this program. Now there is one more thing you really do need to know about the air program. I'm going to ask you to please stick around to the end to hear about it. As of February of 2024, NCL made a change to their foreign currency policy. They will no longer provide foreign currency exchange services on board, except for European itineraries, but they strongly encourage you to exchange the currency before you embark on your cruise. And lastly, this is a really big one that I want to stress with people, which I don't think too many people really know about. You may have even read about this policy affecting cruisers in the news. If you are within 120 days of your sailing, so this is from when you paid your final payment to your departure on your cruise, if you place an item in your cruise planner cart and do not pay it fully immediately, even just leaving $1 on the reservation, it will be automatically canceled. Your entire reservation. Not just the item you put in the cart, the entire reservation. Now there are certain items that they say dramatically trigger this cancellation. NCL states that, here's where the important one I was telling you about earlier, you do have up until 110 days before departure to add air. So you have 10 days to put in jeopardy if you add the air promotion and do not pay it in full. The essential travel protection, ground transfers, and land items like pre and post hotel and cruise tours can also cause an automatic cancellation if payment is not paid in full. Now these are items that NCL says do not trigger cancellation. But even with this list of items that aren't supposed to trigger cancellations, I advise to always make any kind of purchases to your cruise planner in the earliest part of the day so that if you have an issue with the payment, you can address it right away with your travel advisor or NCL during business hours. What they would have to do is try to remove the item from your reservation before the auto cancellation takes effect. So I hope this list has helped educate you on what you need to know when you're sailing with NCL. And you can be sure to check out my list of things to know and do when you're sailing on the Prima. And as always, I thank you for watching. And if you found any value to this, please hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Looking forward to seeing you soon, everybody. Happy cruising.